Hello, all. I'm Miracle Cheninoff, and welcome to Sure Things. I also like to say Happy New Year. We just started 2021, looking ahead with high hopes and goals for us all. Today's show is going to focus on one of the common things we all say as we hit that New Year's resolution time. And what is it? But let's get healthy and let's get in shape. Today's show is going to give us some insight on that. I'm very happy to welcome back two guests that I've had on prior show. I'm welcoming back Kate Perez and Ellen Nichele from the Valley Shore YMCA that are joining us today. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
We're so excited to have you here today. You'll notice I'm not at my dining room table today. I decided to come down into my workout area with my bike and my mat in the background to get in the spirit with you ladies of working out and getting healthy in this new year.
Excellent.
So we're excited to get started today. So Kate, you're going to start us off with some basics or some ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ellen and I wanted to present to you some exercises that you could do at home, focusing on four very specific areas. So strength training, balance work, cardio training, and stretching. So we're going to start everything off, and all of this is you're able to do with something you could find in your kitchen. So for instance, a soup can, a bag of beans, a soda can, a soda bottle. You can use your dog's leash as a strap for when you come to your stretching. So we brought along a couple of props today to go through and show you. So we're going to start with a little bit of strength work you can do at home. So as long as you don't ever have to use any weights if you don't want to. So if you don't have cans in your cupboard or what have you, you can go with no weight at all. But Ellen's going to start us off by showing us how to do a couple of things with some soup cans. So we're going to start with a nice stationary lunge and a bicep curl. So these are all full body exercises that you can do on your own at home with just those props we already talked about. And it's covering the full body, really building the strength in your arms, building the strength in your legs, and using just nothing more than a couple of soup cans.
Kate, when we start an exercise like this, how do you suggest people start with? I have my seltzer bottles. How do you suggest people start with the number of reps?
Well, I would start every workout with a warm up. So warm up in some way, shape, or possible, or something to warm you up. So, for instance, Ellen still has the cans in her hands.
Yeah.
She'll do a march. She'll do a nice, easy march for us. So just do a little bit of marching, a little bit of dynamic movement. You want to swing those arms a little bit. Focusing on not taking those arms too far up over your shoulders. And she's showing us a step touch. So these are some of the things you can do. I would say anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. You should just get your body moving so you're ready for all of this work. And then at the end, also, we're going to finish with the stretching. And stretching is always important at the end of a workout. And again, you can get a great workout in at home in 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be a big commitment. You don't need a lot of space. As you can see, we're in a not a big area here. We're not moving around too much. And Ellen is still showing us some excellent warm-up exercises. And so I would start with reps to answer your question, Mary.
Yeah.
I would start with probably 8 to 10 reps one time through. So each exercise, 8 to 10 reps. And then as you get better and you start feeling stronger, you can add on to the reps or you can add to your weight. So either way, you could go from a 2-pound soup can up to a 4-pound soup can, or you could just add another set of 8 or another set of 10 reps. So that's where to start.
And did you say, Kate, I'm sorry, you probably did. How long you should warm up? Ellen's doing
3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes. So she's doing the warm up.
Just get yourself moving, even if it's just like a quick walk around your block.
Yeah.
And come back inside to do your workout.
Okay.
Just something to get your heart pumping, to get the blood moving, and to get your circulation going. So you never want to start a workout cold.
Okay. Good to know.
All right. And so we'll show you a couple other things. So now we're going to use our soda bottle, and we're going to do a squat with an overhead press. And again, all of these exercises focus on multi-joint. So you're working your whole body, not just one piece. So go ahead, Ellen, show us a couple of squats with overhead press. So she's got the soda bottle in her hand, and she's just pushing it over her head. Excellent. And last but not least,
are we still in the warm-up phase?
No, we're now I'm showing you the strength exercises.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I was going to say this can be this. You can really feel this exercise too. Yeah,
definitely. You can really feel this, and this would be something that you would go into after your warm-up. We showed you a bunch of warm-up exercises And now we're just going to show you a lateral lunge with a quick little arm circle. And this time she's going to use a bag of beans in both hands for those arm circles. They weigh, I mean, not even a pound each. So she's going to show us a lateral lunge with an arm circle. You don't even need to use a prop at all. You can do arm circles without anything and still get a really good workout for your shoulders and your upper back. Good. And now she'll show you, make sure whatever you do on the right, you also do on the left. Good.
That's a great idea. The beans, I never thought of that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a great prop. It's only about a pound, especially if you're just starting out in exercise. You want to make sure you stay really, really light in weights or not use any weight at all until you start to build up the stamina and the strength. And next up, we thought we could jump into some balance. So now that you're warmed up, you've done a little bit of strength training. You can also add balance to your strength training, but we figured we'd jump into a little balance series that people can do at home. And one of the things to remember about balance too is you can do balance, but if you're new to balance, I would make sure that you have a wall or a chair or something you can hang on to. So if you need something, you can. And so Ellen, you want to bring that table over just so you have something to put your hand on. So Ellen's going to bring a table over just to give you an example of how you might want to use a table or a chair, like a countertop, a couch, anything that can be stable and help hold you up. So go ahead, let's try. She's got soup can in one hand. She's got her other hand on her stationary item, and she's doing a single-legged deadlift. And this is a really simple exercise, but this is a great exercise for balance. If you could do 10 on each leg once a day, you'll be amazed at how it's going to improve your balance.
And you would suggest, again, she's using the soup can, but this, if we had weights,
you could use weights.
We
but
would be doing.
You want to make sure that you're not using something that's too heavy if you're just starting to delve into exercise for the first time. You can do this without any weight. You could also go a little deeper without any props and touch the floor as well. So there's a lot of different ways you can make it a little bit harder. She's showing you how you come down a little deeper and touch the floor. The one thing to remember with balance always, though, is to make sure your belly's pulled in tight and you're really focusing on that core, because that core is really, really what's stabilizing you. And remember, whatever you do on the right, you always want to do on the left. So now we're going to move into our next exercise for balance, which is a split stance to a calf raise. So this is an exercise that requires no props at all, and it's a lot harder than it looks. So it's simple exercises like this that really help your balance. So you see she's got her feet in a split stance, and what she's going to do is just slip up into her toes and then come back down to her heels. So all she's doing is moving forward into her toes.
Like a rocking motion.
Exactly.
Almost, yeah.
Yep.
Now, these balance exercises are good for anyone, but I imagine too, when you do your programs for seniors and things, this is really helpful too.
Oh, it's so important, especially for seniors. The first thing that goes as you get older is your balance. And it's also the first thing that you can improve upon, more so even than strength. So balance is a huge, huge, huge thing for everybody. And everybody should practice balance every day. Even if you just practice balance doing everyday things. For instance, if you're cutting vegetables at the kitchen counter, go up on one leg, stand on one leg for 10, 20 seconds while you chop those vegetables, and then switch legs and chop those vegetables. When you're brushing your teeth, stand on a single leg. Anything like that. If you can add just a little bit of balance into your day every day, you'll be amazed at how much you can improve. And now doing a very simple exercise where you just stand on one leg, you bring your second leg up. You can move into a tree pose where she is now from yoga, and you can lift your arms up a little bit higher if you want to make it a little bit harder. Again, shoulder issues, you might want to bring your hands to your heart. But this is a great exercise you can do anytime. You can be watching television and go right into your tree pose. And
I'm sure this is more difficult, I would imagine. I mean, first of all, I think it's difficult. Now I'm going to try this after the show. But I would imagine one side might be more of a challenge than the other.
Always. We are not symmetrical beings, and that's super important to remember. We always have one side that's not quite as good as the other. So now, Ellen, why don't you show us the other side with a kickstand foot? So she's just going to put her toe down instead of going all the way up in balance. So into the tree pose, if she comes into tree, and just keep that toe on the floor. Just like that. So in other words, if you have one side that's a lot harder than the other, again, you have something you could put your hand on, or you can just go into kickstand and work your way up.
Great. We are going to just take a short break, and we come back. We will continue with our exercises and suggestions for all of us for a healthy new year. We'll be back just after this short break.
So you think you're safe in your COVID bubble, huh? You don't wear your mask because you're around each other all the time and you trust each other. If only it were that simple. Let's say you go over to your neighbor's house. That's okay, right? They're in your bubble. But your neighbor goes to work and has a coworker that doesn't wear a mask over his nose. And that coworker has a family and grown children that also go to work. Your neighbor also has a close relative who goes to bonfires at another friend's house regularly, where everyone is close together but don't wear masks because they're outside, and they all have families and coworkers. That's just your neighbor. That doesn't include your neighbor's neighbors, or your sister, your aunt, your best friend, or even your dad. The point is, everyone you know has a network. Everyone in their network has a network, and it only grows from there. So when you think you're hanging out with just 10 people, you're really hanging out with 100, 500, maybe 1,000. We'd hate to burst your bubble, but you don't have one. So think twice before venturing out. Keep your guard and your mask up whenever you're around anyone who doesn't live in your immediate household, even if they're trusted family or friends. That's the best way to stay safe and healthy.
Hi there, welcome back to Sure Things. Today we're here with Ellen and Kate, and we're going over some exercises to do at home and to keep us all healthy as we start 2021. Okay, so let's go back. We had Ellen was doing some balance with the 3 exercises, and yes.
So we have one more balance exercise to show you, and this is just because we want to make sure we're moving in all directions, because in life you're moving in all directions, so not just forward and back. So we thought we'd show you a lateral lunge to balance, which you can do without any props, and Ellen's going to demonstrate that. And so you're just stepping to the side and then bringing that leg back up off the floor. And again, you can kickstand that toe down to the floor if you need a little bit of extra. You can have your hand on anything, any surface that can hold you up, couch, chair, countertop, anything. But it's good to practice stepping to the side as well, because in life we have to move in all different directions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's great. Again, this is still on balance.
Yep. And the next thing we were going to show you is a little bit of cardio. So cardio is great because you don't need any space at all, except for just your immediate space. You don't need any equipment at all. Gets your heart rate up, gets your body moving. So I highly recommend, if you're going to go into an exercise regimen, that you actually add a little bit of cardio. So Ellen and I are just going to show you a couple different ways to do some cardio. So she's going to show you some jacks first. We're going to start with the low impact option, and she'll move into the higher impact option. So you can always keep it low. You don't have to go immediately into that higher impact option. See jacks done in all sort of crazy ways when you watch the internet and TV. Right. You get a great workout just doing a side to side. Now let's show the higher impact version, which is actually a jump. And jumping is great for your bones. It's really good for your joints. But there are some people who shouldn't be jumping. And so if you've been advised not to jump, definitely want to stick to that low impact option.
Which is great for me right now. You know, as Ellen knows, I'm still dealing with my broken foot. Yep. So I actually did look at some videos, and they did have some even chair jumping jacks.
Yep, exactly.
To try to get some cardio going. So it's interesting to see all the different variations.
Exactly. And you can do anything from a chair. And especially if you've been sedentary for a long time, starting in a chair and working your way up is the best way to go.
Yeah.
And the next one she's going to show us some squat jumps. So again, she's going to show the low first. So to squat jump in a lower impact, you could touch the floor. So you're going lower, which means every time you go down and increase that range of motion, you're increasing your heart rate and you're increasing how hard your body has to work. But you don't have to jump or run to do it. So this is a nice option, especially if you're looking for something low impact and aren't really ready for a higher impact option. Now she's going to go ahead and show you that higher impact option. So if you're ready for it, you just take a quick touch and jump. And you don't have to touch down to the floor each time. You can just do a little squat and a little tiny jump and work your way up.
So anything with jumps is going to be considered cardio? Pretty much.
Plyometrics, and it's like cardio. It's going to get your heart rate up. So yes, it would be considered a more high intensity exercise.
Okay.
But again, jumping is good for your bones and it's good for your joints. So if you can jump, it's a really good idea to do a little bit of jumping every day or in every workout. The other cardio that's really great at home, and you can use a jump rope if you have one, but even if you don't have a jump rope, you can do jump roping at home. And even, like I said, 20 seconds a day inside a workout, it's a really good way to work out. And so Ellen's showing the lower option right now, which is just a march, and you're twirling your arms still. So you're still getting that full body in because you're working your arms. So anytime you add your arms to your legs, you're going to increase your heart rate. And now I'm going to have her show you the higher impact version, which anybody can do. You can jump on one leg, you can jump side to side, you can jump putting one heel down, alternating your heels, any way you want to. You can see jump roping in many different variations, especially on the internet if you're spending time looking for some new exercises. But jump roping is a great way to add some cardio to your life as well, and you can do it from anywhere.
Kate, do you have any special formula? I think when we started, you said about 20 minutes a day for working out. So is it really up to the person to know, am I going to do 10 minutes of balance and then just 5 of cardio? Or is there any formula, or is that all up to the individual goals?
It's your individual goals matter, but you can never go wrong with a workout regimen that takes you through all of your muscle groups, that adds balance and adds cardio. So I as a trainer and as somebody who teaches group exercise, if you're new to exercise, I would say 20-minute regimen every single day. So you'd pick 5 to 10 exercises that you're going to be strength based, maybe 2 exercises that are cardio based, and then maybe do 1 round of jumping in there, and then you can add the stretching at the end. And so that's how I would do it. So I would break it out into having at least 5 to 7, depending on how much time you have, 5 to 10 strength exercises, at least a couple exercises that focus just on balance, a couple times where you're going to take you're going to do a cardio burst in there, and then the stretching at the end. That's how I would do it.
Okay.
Because that way you're getting the whole body, you're getting every muscle group. So thinking about the big muscle groups in your body, your biceps, your triceps, your legs, your abs, and definitely throw in some abdominal work there too, because your core is super important, especially for balance.
We hear that a lot now, about the core. Yeah.
So I would definitely try to break it out and have a 20 to 30-minute workout that covers everything.
Okay.
And now we've gotten to the point where we're going to just talk to you a little bit about the stretching that you should be doing at the end of each class. Now, if you were, for instance, just wanting to do stretching, yoga is a great option. I'm a yoga instructor, and I know yoga has increased my flexibility in a huge way. So especially if you're new to an exercise regimen, if you can find a yoga class that you can tune into, and a lot of them on the internet now are just 20 minutes long, or come on over to the Valley Shore YMCA. We have lots of yoga. We have a couple online that we do. Yoga is a great way to stretch. So Ellen's going to show you a couple stretches now that you can do at the end of your workout. She's got her dog's leash in her hand. So,
that's a great idea.
It's a great prop, especially for stretching, because when you add a prop like a leash or any other strap, you can deepen your stretch, and it's also going to help you contain everything, so you're not going out of your range of motion or doing anything strange with your joints. So Ellen's going to show, it's called your hand to big toe stretch. So she's got that leash right around the center of her foot. She's going to drop her foot off to the outside, heading towards me. And this is going to stretch the inside of the thigh. So again, especially if you're doing cardio like jumping jacks or jump loops, you want to make sure you're stretching through your legs. Now she's going to bring that leg back up right over her hip, and she's going to take it in the other hand. So she switches hands with the leash, and she takes it across her body in the opposite way. When you're doing the stretch, you want to make sure your hips and your shoulders are pressed into the mat as much as possible. That leg that's lifted, she's going to lift her hip a little bit, but you want to try to stay grounded on that mat as much as possible. And now she'll bring it back, and you would do that on both sides.
Is that an advanced stretch? No?
Not really.
No. Okay.
You don't have to have a prop to do it. You can do it with just grabbing the side of the toe, or you could grab your ankle as well. Or you could grab your shin. Just drop your leg a tiny bit. You don't have to go.
Yeah.
She's going very deep. She's very flexible through her hips.
Yeah.
I can go that deep when I do that stretch.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then I feel better, because I'm thinking, I'm not sure I could do all that.
Yeah, and that stretch is great for the outside of the leg, along the IT band, right up and down the outside of the leg, and through the inner thigh.
Yeah.
And it's a great exercise for that. The next one we're going to show you is called child's pose. And this is the best resting pose in the universe. This is a place you can go. So if say you've had a really hard workout and you're ready to start your stretch, coming into child's pose first and just kind of collecting your thoughts, catching up to your breath. This is a great way to do this. Now, Ellen, if you take your hands alongside your body, now put your head on the floor. This deepens the stretch a little bit. It adds a stretch to the shoulders as well. And it just feels so good, especially after you've done some weight work, to just let your shoulders relax like this. It also encourages you to relax your lower back. So
I was just gonna say that it looks like it's good for the lower back stretch too.
yeah, it really is because with your lower back, you don't really think about your lower back too much, but it's doing so much stabilizing that it's really good to give it a rest. And low back pain is a huge problem in with a lot of people,
Yeah.
and this is a great way to start to really just let that lower back relax. And again, it's just a great place to go after a workout or even before a workout to collect your thoughts, catch up to your breath, and just give your body a complete rest.
Yeah.
And the next one she's going to show you is similar to child's pose, but it adds a nice shoulder stretch to it. It's called thread the needle. And this all of these stretches come from yoga. So she's going to take one hand and she's going to thread it through and she's just going to give a little twist. Now, the other thing that's nice about this is twisting is really good for your digestive system. So,
Yeah.
like if you're going to be doing yoga, one of the best yogas to do if you're going to do morning yoga is a yoga that's going to take you into a couple of different twists because twisting is really good for your spine and it's really good for your digestive system. And this is a great way again to relax that lower back and to give that shoulder a stretch. Now she's just going to switch and take her other arm through. And note how she keeps her knees under her hips. You want to try
Yeah.
to keep your body, that kinetic chain in line. So keeping your shoulders in line with your wrists and keeping your knees in line with your hips as much as possible.
That's wonderful. I didn't know that part about the digestive system and how these stretches, the yoga could help with that.
The twists are really,
The
really good.
twist.
They just wake everything up in there.
Oh, good, good. Can I ask you a bit about the programs now, like with the pandemic? I'm sure the Y has seen a reduction in the enrollment. So, do you have offer classes online?
We offer a huge amount of classes online. Almost
Yeah.
all of our live classes where people are in person are also online classes. So we're offering 10, I think 10 to 12 online classes a week. We have one almost every single day. We have one live online class. So you're actually following along live with the instructor. Sometimes those classes have people behind us. Sometimes it's just me and the camera. We have all of our formats with the exception of a couple. The ones that are not prop heavy are all online. So things like yoga, Pilates. We have a couple of great strength programs. We have boot camp. We have a whole bunch of a very wide range of offerings online. And also in person, we're back to we can hold 13 people in our gym. So we're back to doing live classes as well.
Do you have the same hours and everything? People could find that on the website. The same hours. And when I was in, and Ellen helped me with my broken foot issues. When I was in, you had to make the appointment first. Is that still the case?
Yes. So
Yeah.
you have to have an appointment to be anywhere in the facility.
Yeah.
And again, we have two different rooms we're using for classes. The gymnasium, we have 13 people that can fit, and this is at 12-foot social distancing. So. And then in the other room where we are now, it's a 10-foot distance with 10 people can fit into the room. And if you join the Y as a member, you get all of our online classes and the option to take all of the in-person classes as well. So you get the whole package when you join, along with the pool. We have 2 cardio workout rooms and we have a strength room and a Nautilus room. So you get a huge amount of offerings for the money. So, but again, once you join, if you're interested in classes, but you're not ready to come back to the facility, you'll get all the classes that we offer online.
That is so exciting and so amazing. There's so much offered online, but it's great to know with the connection with the Y that it's still there and that you can still participate. And I was going to ask about the pool, so I'm glad you mentioned that because I know there are folks that probably really miss that pool time.
Yeah, and we have how many lanes? 6 lanes?
6 lanes.
We have 6 lanes and it's a single person per lane.
Okay, good. I found that very helpful, ladies. And we looked at using soup cans, liter cans, bags of beans, and a dog leash. I mean, how cool is that? So thank you for taking us through that with items that we can have at the house and knowing that the resource is there for people if they do join and they have the whole availability of everything. And I'm hoping that helps a lot with everybody that wants to get back into the groove.
Come down and
I know, really. Okay. I really appreciate it, ladies, Ellen and Kate. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap it up there. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in today to Sure Things. Stay healthy and safe and take care of each other and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.